everyone, it has been a while. Just kind of been a little busy puttering here and there. A few changes. These are my wonderful cucumber plants and squash and cucumber plant and cucumber plant. A few other things behind it, but this is gonna be kind of an update video about the kind of what's been going on in between, as well as kind of a review for some grow bags, which you can sell. They need some water, so you'll see a little before. I will give them some water. They always perk up. The worst part about the grow bags is I do have to do this about twice a day. Unfortunately, I was not home earlier, and about 1:30. I mean, I've only been out here for a few minutes, and I'm already glistening. And yeah, it's just one of those things. You have to be really, really on top of it. And sometimes I'm not, and I know that can be a problem for some vegetables or some fruits. Infrequent watering can cause lots of issues, and this is actually a lemon cucumber plant which does really well. And there's so many flowers, it's doing so great, and I've been on top of it. It has not gotten this bad, but you can kind of see this is probably, pinch that off, infrequent waterings and drying out. That is a little tiny bit of like blossom rot or end rot. It does smell good though. A little tiny cucumber was trying. That's good. But just kind of showing you the differences real quick. So this is what it does do. Hopefully not, usually not this bad, but we'll go into it and I'll give it some watering and I'll come back and reconvene. Alrighty, excuse the mess and the clutter. So over here is kind of the few successful things, and then kind of the graveyard. So obviously watermelon, doing excellent, absolutely loves the heat. Peppers, we have 2 tomatoes in this, tomato. We have another type of melon, tiger melon in one, and then a tender melon in the square one. A bunch of green beans in that one, but these two were blackberries, bare roots, and they just did not work out. But I do have 2 half-filled trays over here that just did not work out, mostly seedlings, that they just got so stunted that I just kind of left them for fun. Strawberry patch, my compost that's almost ready, my newer compost pile that is nowhere near full, and I'll get a little closer to show you kind of what's going on. Okay, so this one has 3 there, 3 down at the bottom, 4 right there, 2 at the top, and I don't, oh, yep, right here, you got 2 more starting. I did leave the suckers just to see, kind of let them do their thing, wasn't super worried about it. I do have to find the variety of it, but these are yellow pear looking tomatoes, and these 2 are just typical like beefsteak. Mint that is completely dried out apparently. So my green beans, they are looking a little pale, a little washed out, but it's kind of hard to tell, which I kind of wanted to be. I like kind of a surprise. I know it makes it easier if you're trying to diagnose things, but these might make it harder. So I have regular green beans, tender green beans, and then also yellow Cherokee wax green beans, all bush variety. So I can see like, oh, these look a little pale, and it could be just a wrong variety that I'm trying to examine. But there's plenty of starts on there, plenty of little flowers, doing pretty good. There's the tender melon, that's the tiger melon, that's some more basil. We got some tomatoes that are good little size, but only a couple on each plant. Marigold, I don't know what kind of flowers I put in that, and then more basil. And those, all the basils and marigolds and mint are kind of just pest removers, pest attractants. Watermelons, tomatoes, peppers, which, like I said, just got stunted, didn't really care about. This thing, I absolutely love this tray, but once again, kind of things got away from me. I didn't knew it was stunted, so I just had to leave it. And only thing from here would be compost while I'm waiting for my cucumbers to perk back up. Alrighty, so this thing, already kind of pulling it on itself a little bit, is super dry, only because it's so hot, but it's pretty wet down there. Kind of have this just to kind of keep it aerated a little bit. But this thing is about 3 by 3 by 4.5 probably, and it was almost to completely the top before it started breaking down. Haven't added anything in a long time. This one is even bigger, probably 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, and I got a bunch of stuff. Not trying to make this one break down at all. There's some sad cucumbers that unfortunately had some holes in it. So here we are. I need to add a lot more to this, but this is gonna be the big compost bin because I need to make a lot of compost. Okay, so a good water and a light mist. About 10 minutes later, they're definitely not back to 100%, but they are much happier. They're not at least flopping everywhere. So, like I said, it does this. I obviously know I need a shade cloth. I really want to taper one from the edge of the gazebo down to the ground. I do have a couple tall posts. I should be able to do that pretty easy, but more of a walkthrough. We got watermelon right here, 2 cucumber plants, squash plant, artichokes, 2 tomatoes, watermelon plant behind it, a squash, cucumber, and lettuce, which I clearly never pick. It hasn't bolted, it's just growing very tall. And yeah, so as you can tell, grow bags is not the most ideal. Obviously, a lot of people who grow in high heat grow them in like kiddie pools and stuff like that, but I'm trying to avoid growing in PVC because that's just not something that I want to do. Everything that I grow is the correct plastic or bag. And yeah, so I'll do a little update on the actual grow bags themselves, or a little bit more talking around face to face. Okay, so what I wanted to say was that grow bags, they are awesome. Hopefully, I could say had now, but we had a little bit of a flea problem in our backyard, just being a little bit bigger of a yard, lots of brush and vines, some weeds and stuff like that, all in the border, and made it really hard to kind of do all the weed and flea killer and stuff like that. So I had to move those bags around a couple times, which obviously I would not have been able to do if I had a raised garden bed, even though I know there's a lot of safety in certain flea killers that say you can use it in your garden or near your garden, just don't water for X amount of days. In a raised garden bed, the roots probably were never going to go 24, 36, 48 inches, however tall your raised bed might be. But it's super easy, at least to move it out of the way. You have just a good feeling that your plants aren't sitting on top of poison, basically. And so I did have to move them around a little bit. Super helpful. I know I need a shade cloth. I've been slacking on that like crazy, but as you could kind of see from the squash plant a little bit, and 2 cucumber plants, and some lettuce, and the tomatoes, even directly in the soil, they're all kind of suffering a little bit. They're all too hot. They all wilt. So the grow bag in this exact situation versus my exact situation of in here is no different. They're all wilting. I have to water them twice a day, and so it's not like, oh, you have to water grow bags so often. Yeah, but I'd have to water it in the garden anyway, so at least this way I can move it around. This pot right here is perfect summertime sun. The fall, spring, winter, it gets like 2 hours of direct sunlight in this one spot, and that's it. So being able to move grow bags is super, super helpful. Also have an access point under the house on this side, so I don't want that too full. So I'm just kind of figuring it out, but I will do shade cloth. I do have mulch in all of my garden bags. They are all 7-gallon, BPA free, AZO Dye free, all that stuff. So I did choose ones that I felt the best about, and I'm super happy. The tomatoes, they get a little wilted. They kind of could be a little happy with a little bit of shade cloth, but they're doing fine. I don't even have them trellis, as you saw. Green beans seem to be doing pretty fine. Everything loves it, especially the watermelon, so I'm not super worried. But it is probably mid-90s out right now. That's why I'm doing it under here instead of back over there. I don't want to be squinting more than I already am. But I'm pretty happy overall, and I will do a little bit of an update. Maybe I can do a little bit of a comparison when it comes to fall, where I can put a little bit more stuff in the ground versus a go bag. And we'll kind of go from there. But I got a couple update videos that will be coming out, and some specific things. But this is just a general kind of what's going on and what I'm doing and what I should be doing better. Thanks for watching.